Hi guys, welcome to Living Single. This is a show for single people, about single people, with single people. Really easy. For single people, about single people, with single people. So today I'm joined by two amazing single people, Helen and Baraka. They're going to introduce themselves, and we want to start off, start talking about dating. We can't even finish it. We can't scratch the surface. We want to start having a discussion about that. So let's start with Helen. Helen, tell us a bit about yourself, but also, when was the last time you had a date?
Okay. As you said, my name is Helen. I'm a single mother of two daughters. One is 18, yay, finally, and one is 8. Wait, no, she's 11.
Oh, 18 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First of all, I keep saying this, but you don't look.
At all.
She doesn't look like she has.
That's how it's supposed to be.
What?
Really? Yeah, really.
Okay.
Okay. So the last time I went for a date was like 2 years ago. It was really nice. It really was. And but it didn't end well. So, yeah.
Didn't end well. Like you didn't get another date after that.
It was a date, and then it progressed into a very nice relationship, but it didn't end well.
Okay.
So yes, so I've been taking time to heal and just get back into the game again, because it ended really, really badly. Yeah.
But the date progressed.
The date was amazing. He brought serious game. It was amazing. He just seemed to read my mind. And I think those are the worst of it, actually. Because he just seemed to read my mind. He seemed to anticipate what I wanted before I actually wanted it. And I think it became a problem because I started finding out he never really wanted to know what I actually wanted. He just, the way it starts, you anticipate what I want, and then you get comfortable. People grow, people change. So when I started changing, it became a problem for him. He started changing, it became a problem for me, and it didn't end well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baraka, at least she had a date that went far.
Wow.
What's your story? Tell us a bit about yourself, and then.
So, like you said, my name is Baraka, and I'm very concerned because when Pauline called me, she told me, see, Baraka, when I think about single people, I think about you. And I was like, what? I was very concerned about that bio. So, yes, when you think about single people, think about me. Baraka, single and married. The last date I went for, maybe a month or two ago. Yeah, it was lovely. I'm really not like big, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm really not big on dates per se. I feel like there's so much thought and there's a script you must follow. So you either pick her up or you meet at a certain place and stuff like that. And I think I don't fancy dates because I don't enjoy them, So in fact, I was telling someone earlier, the whole thing of even when you're married, you must keep on dating. I'm like, I don't enjoy dates. I don't enjoy dates.
Are you just lazy?
No, I'm not lazy.
I think dating involves work on the side of the guy.
Maybe, but I don't think dates are structured for the guy to enjoy. I feel like I have to figure out what you want, where you want to go, what you want to do. Then I'm going to pay for it.
Oh yes, thank you. So you're gonna pay for it.
I'm gonna pay for it.
Okay, so it's work for you.
So it's sometimes I feel like it's a job which you have to do. I don't really enjoy this job, but I gotta like pay rent and stuff like that, So I don't particularly enjoy what you'd call contextual dating, but I love hanging out with people, So Yani, and I don't mean this in a random way, but if you could come to my digs and we make like pancakes. And we chill. Too soon, eh?
So my name is Pauline, and I have 3 children. One is gonna be 21. The others are 12. They are twins. Tumaini, Imani, and Amani. And I love them. And I've been a single mom, separated from my husband for the last, I think 11 years, going to 12. And I've never been, I have been on in that time I've been on 2 dates.
In 12 years?
Yes. It's been very dry. I don't even know whether you'd call it a dry spell. However, what I
That's a desert.
It's a desert. It's a drought. However, what I have been through a lot of is getting lots of invitations for dates that almost look like people want me to go with them into a motel. which is really like sleazy. Like I almost get the impression that because I'm a single mom and I'm a bit on the older side, people think that the only thing I'm good for is maybe, it's a bit vulgar and a bit sleazy. And sadly, a lot from married men. Because I seem to be sort of floating around. So I get a lot of those from married men. And I feel really sad and I feel degraded. But then I understand that maybe in the context of being a single mom and being older, that's what people think you're available for. So I don't get offended. I don't feel hurt. Actually, my last serious date, the person who actually asked me for the date said, I asked them, why are we having this conversation and you're married? And they said, we have unfinished business.
Wait, why were you meeting a married person?
No, I didn't know we were having lunch. I thought they were coming with a proposal or something.
Business oriented.
Business or something.
Okay.
And then I realized they were getting a bit
They had a
mushy.
different proposal.
Yeah, they had a different proposal. And then I was like, but you're married. And then they said, oh, you know, I think me and you, by then they didn't even bother telling me, you know, the usual, Helen, I have a bad marriage. I don't know. Those things didn't even come up. So they just said, oh, you know, Pauline, I really think that we have unfinished business because we were in college together. And in college, he used to katia me and I refused. Now I think he thought because I'm kind of floating around, I would be available.
That is so mannerless.
It was very sad. But that I get a lot of.
Okay.
But no serious inquiry.
I get that a lot as well, but I'm not older. I'm younger than you. I think it's just a preconceived notion men have in their minds that if you're a single mother, they're doing you a favor. They're actually doing you a favor by asking you out. They're actually doing you a favor. I don't know, you know, because I don't live in your house. You don't pay my bills. So how do you feel like you're doing me a favor? When you're taking me out on a date, you feel like you're doing me a favor. At the end of the night, you want me to come with you to your place. It's so sleazy. It's disgusting. It's depressing. Dating is a terrible, terrible thing. Let me just tell you this. If you're married and you're happy, you're lucky, because dating has become a totally depressing affair. Every time you meet a guy, he wants something from you. He wants money from you. He thinks you're comfortable. It's so uncomfortable. It's disgusting. It's, oh my goodness.
Baraka, this is an attack on your species on this show. Defend yourself.
Defend yourself.
Even me get it a lot, eh? I'm kidding.
Oh, do you?
There's nothing,
What?
nothing.
Do you get do you get people throwing themselves at you?
I would not put it throwing themselves at me. But I get like random. I'll give you an example. There's someone amazing I met who probably slid into my DM. So she sent me a text message and she's like, hey, I have a crush on you.
That is so bold.
It was bold. It was like, yo, man. It was like, for real?
I'd say I have a crush on you.
Yeah, and I was like, eh? And so I replied. And I mean, we switched numbers and went on a date. But it was, I think this is one of the most amazing human beings I ever met. And she told me, maybe I've been seeing you on Instagram for the last like 2 years. And I've been throwing hints, you don't see them. Now, girls have very funny ways of throwing hints. They write lol on your comment on a thing. And I'm like, how is that a hint? It's not a hint.
That's a
Everyone
big
is
hint.
like,
That's a
no,
big
there are
hint.
like 10 of you writing. I don't know.
10 of you are writing lol. So
Lol,
you're
so
like-
And I think the love hearts go down.
they love her tag.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's, and she said, I didn't know this person before. I didn't know, I don't even know if I was following them. But they said, I'd been tracking you for like 2 years.
Oh wow.
I've
She's
been
a
following for
stalker.
like well,
Is
she's
she-
a researcher, put it that way. So I'd been doing for like 2 years. And you didn't notice me. And so at one point I decided to shoot my shot, as they say, right? And she shot her shot. And I mean, I ended up like, we went on a couple of dates. This girl was amazing. She still is amazing. Unfortunately, I was not over my ex at the time. So that really like tempered a lot of like decision making I made on my part. I feel she's an amazing girl. I feel like that's one person who I feel I lost an amazing human being. But by the way, I'm all for, there's some girls out there who, if you see something, must you imagine, be like Ruth.
Just say something.
Just avail yourself somewhere, but also say something, you know? Because for me, saying lol, until she told me, I have a crush on you, I would never have taken a second glance.
Okay, but don't you feel you've really hurt her What do you think, Helen?
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing as hard for a woman as stepping up and saying, I like you, and then now suddenly...
And this is always how they end.
Until now, Baraka...
That's why we don't shoot our shot.
Baraka has now had... Because I don't think as women, we are made for that. You know, men are made to hunt. As women, we are made to be hunted. So the minute you hunt as a woman, you put yourself out there and you say, I really like this man. You go out and you tell him. And then he says, oh, you know, I've not recovered from my...
No. First, let me tell you. It's just that I don't want to bring, like, say her name. But it didn't come at the next week. In fact, maybe it came up after a couple of months, like 3-4 months.
What, you dated her for longer than 2-3 months, and then you tell her you have not recovered from your ex?
And it's a thing of, if you ask yourself why I was not able to commit to her, I mean, and I promise you, this girl is brilliant. This girl, and I know she'll watch this. She's an amazing girl. Amazing. I feel like she was, even though the secret things that you pray for or you yearn for or whatever, she ticked all the boxes. But I was still not over the past. And so I delayed in commitment for a while. So, you know, girls start asking questions like,
where are we going?
Who are we? And I'm like, Michael Jackson said, we are the world.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, just chill, you know?
But at least she had the good sense.
Oh, she had.
She had the good sense to ask where are we at.
She did. And let me tell you, this is nothing, and I must say this. She did nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong by asking. She did nothing wrong by asking, where are we going with this thing? There are so many things she would point out, which now I'd realize later. So, for example, I met her entire family.
Wow.
I met her entire family. One day we went for an event.
Oh my God.
And if you know me, like I know like a million people at the event, but we just like literally went in, went out. And so she asked me, are you ashamed of me? And I wasn't ashamed of her. But then also I didn't know how to start explaining, who is this? You know, because even in my mind, I'm like, I know I want you. Sometimes, and this is I know I did this mistake with that girl in particular. I really love books, but I seldom have time to read books. So when I see a good book at a bookshop, I buy it and I keep it and I say, one day I'll read this book. But I know I just have this book in my bookshelf at home. I feel like that's what I did. I knew, wait, and I'm not, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Do you know,
don't get me wrong.
You're digging yourself so deep. Like
No,
you're digging yourself so deep.
This is someone, and I think she's one of the most amazing human beings, but I knew I still was not ready.
So why did you date her? Why did you ask her for a second date and a third one if you knew you weren't ready?
I feel like I feel like there's a part, I thought I was ready. I thought I was ready. I didn't do it intentionally saying, I know I'm not ready. Come, I mess your life. No. I thought I'd healed. I thought I'd gone through everything. But the more I'm with her, the more I realize, actually, there's so many things I need to fight and deal with. You know, and I think it was very sad. And I know I really broke her heart.
Are you now apologizing? This is your camera.
I'm so sorry. I mean, she knows, and I've told her a million times, right? And I'm in a much better space now. But let me tell you, life, time doesn't wait for any man.
That's true.
But neither does a good woman. The girl moved on.
Oh.
Tell you, life goes on.
Okay, so typically, what does a Kenyan date look like? You know the movies date, the way it starts, like the first 2 dates, you go out, you watch a movie, you have dinner, the guy takes you home, there's always that kapek outside your door. What's typically the Kenyan date?
In the church circle or in the other circle?
No, in any circle.
In the other circle, we go out for a drink and then we go to his place. That's a typical Kenyan date, right?
The typical Kenyan date is you meet in a club, you have
some drinks, lose your minds, go to his place. You start having sex before you actually define what's going on between you.
Okay.
That's a typical, that's how dating works now. We don't go out for coffee and size each other up. What? No, honey, that doesn't happen like that anymore.
Baraka, is this your experience?
I don't know how
Please know that your pastor is seated in the crowd.
Man of God.
Man of God.
But here's the thing. There's that narrative. I feel like there's so many precepts leading to it.
Okay.
One is a WhatsApp conversation.
Oh, yes.
First, I don't think you can date without WhatsApp in this day and age.
Yes.
There's a WhatsApp conversation. And then it comes out very casually. For like, whether unafanya nini kesho, or what are you doing tomorrow? And then it doesn't look like it's intentional, and that's what I don't like. It doesn't look like it's intentional. And I can tell you, and now I'm older, I can tell you the good and the bad side. There's some people who are just like, I'm available, come, let's meet. You know, it's like almost like you're gonna catch a cab, whatever is available. But also when you're intentional, and actually say, Helen likes the coffee at Art Cafe more than the one at Java.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take her to Art Cafe. Then Helen likes to speak, but she's not too loud. So I'm going to take her to Art Cafe at Westgate because it's not too busy.
Yeah.
So I can hear her. She doesn't have to raise her voice. Helen has an 18-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old who needs to be in bed by 9:30.
Yeah.
So I need to get her home, not at 9:29, get her home by 8:30. I need to factor in traffic. But Helen works across town. So I know I have an hour of her time, but I make it really worthwhile. And I send either, if she's not driving, I send a cab to pick her up,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
There's some really well thought out dates,
Yeah.
right? And I feel the few men like myself and few others understand this thing.
Aww.
But also not to say, and I must say this, even us guys have been I've been a very, looking for a nice clean word, we've been brats at some point, you know? And I just said, where uko wapi? Come.
Like you're having drinks with
like
your
with
boys,
your boy, I'm
isn't
like,
it?
yeah, I'm
like
like,
it's
come.
Friday, you're having drinks with the boys.
Yeah, like,
then
wait,
you're just like,
Pitia.
then Helen, you see Helen, then you're like, we're
And I'm
over
like,
here.
yeah.
Chilling.
And then Helen she becomes not a bad idea.
Yes.
She doesn't come like the best idea in the world, but not a bad idea. But they, people like, do you want, I'm asking, what do you want to eat? And you say you want chicken. And then I ask you, do you want chicken? And said, Swayze mind, I wouldn't mind. It's not what you want, but it's you don't mind it as well. I think when you actually go for things that you want, and very rarely, I'll say this, very rarely, but it will happen, you'll meet someone who wants you and will do anything. For me, I met someone in my life one time. Hey!
Hey! She was pulling out all
Let
the
me tell you,
stops.
there's nothing I would not do for this person. Unajua hata kuna, I feel like I have a very, my chest is not my heart, like literally.
Your chest.
My chest can get very, like COVID, like it can get a bit sensitive. You know, if it's like super cold or something. Do you know the time there's a girl somewhere, I removed my shirt because it was getting cold. Cold! I didn't have a jacket. And it was, I was broke, I was in Campo. I removed my shirt and kabaki na vest and kamvalisha shati.
Wow.
The way I feel warm.
That is
And
so
then ask
stupid and
myself,
so sweet at
I
the
mean,
same
pneumonia
time.
inaangalia hivi. You know? But and it comes so naturally for some people. At some point also, let me tell you, sometimes dating looks like a job. You're like, man, do I really like this boss? Can't I do better? Can't I do something that I love doing? So, I mean, it's you sometimes get both.
Okay,
You know?
okay.
Let me just finish and say this. Also, sometimes something I've learned, you have to keep on being intentional in choosing this person.
Yeah.
Because ukianza unaanzanga na psych.
Yeah. Yeah.
Na kutext mara kama thou, I'm always on you, you know. I want to see you every minute. Like, what are you doing today? But we were with you yesterday, that's fine. Also want to be with you tomorrow. I want to see you for like 4 or 5 days a week. I'll call you endlessly. But then after a while, it becomes a lot. And then I'm like, hey, okay. I'm like, but I talked to her 2 days ago. Why is she complaining? I'm like, but I sent you a text asking you if you're fine. You told me, Nini, and I said, cool. And I'm like, so we've communicated. So I think just sustaining that energy.
Okay.
Also.
Okay. Helen, what's your ideal date? And you have to be like 100 words. I'm told we have to go into a break. What's your ideal date?
My ideal date would be we actually do something that we both like.
Okay.
And not just sitting down in a restaurant and having coffee and having foolish conversations.
So you have like an experience together.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go to the gym. Let's go hiking. Let's do something.
Yeah.
And plus, I want to see your patience levels
Yeah.
because
Yeah, you want to see yourself surrounded by other people.
Yeah, exactly.
How you perform, eh? Okay.
I'm just so tired of the let's have lunch, let's have dinner. I want to do something creative, something new, something flashy, something we'll both remember.
Okay.
That makes
and,
sense.
And then my last question to you: how long should we date before the question of what are we doing here?
A month?
A month. So like 4 or 5 dates, and then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
The question must come up. Baraka, you wanted to stretch it to what?
6 months.
Well,
Even a
mean,
year of
no,
just
no,
my
I
coffee,
mean,
my coffee, my
let's,
coffee.
Let's not rush the Lord. Eh? Let's not give him too much.
Wow.
I would say, girls, let me tell you, by the second week, they know if you're the one or not.
Yeah.
You know, I think Jamas need, I'd say an extra
Really?
month.
Like,
I'd say I need
okay.
an extra, by like the end of the second month, I sort of like figure, because I've known you a bit. You know, so you the first dates, you come, you're so proper, knife and fork, and then I feel like it's very cliche. It's at a restaurant, so there's always a meal, glass of wine or something. I've not seen you angry. You know, in fact, every time you've not, it's not even, I really love cooking. I really enjoy cooking.
I hope you're not going to the place where you're inviting her to your
Pancakes.
house.
No, but hey, come kwangu home. I have nothing sleazy. I'm just telling you, come kwangu.
But that's so dangerous.
It's not for me. But, and here's why I'm saying this is, until we get you in a different environment, from what is the norm,
Yeah.
I can't see a different side of you.
Yeah.
I can't see a different side of you, you know? I want to go to church with you.
Yeah.
Like
You
for me,
want
I
to
really
see
want-
whether for
Yeah.
there'll be
I
for
like-
praise and worship,
for
for
praise and
crying.
worship, for crying,
Wakamasi moments.
You know, Helen said something about doing something that you enjoy. I don't think for me, girls, and maybe it's just very random, I don't think girls take time to find out what does this guy like.
Yeah.
So it's always, that's what I'm telling you, it's very chick focused, you know? And I mean, it's maybe the nature of the game. It is what it is. And so I'll do the things you like. And I'm telling you, I'll study you. I'll find out what you want. Me, I'm a researcher. I will go and do online and I'm like, okay, this girl likes football. I'll see if there's a football game you can watch somewhere. This girl likes working out. I'll pay for the gym or something, you know? I'll see something that's about you. Very rarely do you find girls making the same effort.
Yeah.
In fact, for
Actually, girls make no
I tell
effort.
guys,
Yeah.
when it's a girl's birthday, we pull all moves.
Yeah.
All moves. And when the girl tells me on my birthday, you're gonna get me a belt and a watch.
Yeah. That's if
But
she's really jaribut.
I don't wear watches. So I just wanna like put it there. I'm just like whatever. But then also I feel like I already have enough belts.
Yeah.
You know, enough belts. No one gets my happy socks.
Yeah.
Let's go like really do like a lot of research.
Yeah.
So it's just generic. You know, so mimi nataka madem pia mkwe hardworking. Mkwe hardworking, soma tu uchali useme, this guy, like, so I'll tell you one of the, because I really like cooking.
Okay, we have to go to. I'm
Ukiniambia
told.
tu nimekuletea tu manini mapans manini nini. I'm like uangalia umeni.
Yeah,
Double-sided
umenijenga,
fan.
umenijenga.
Walk. Lazima tu
Eish.
unaona? But sasa umekaa mna watch. Shia.
Okay, we'll be right back.